When people hear dangerous animals, they picture lions, tigers, or sharks with their sharp claws and ferocious teeth. But guess what? The real nightmare often comes in a tiny package. Insects, small but deadly, can be far scarier than the big beasts. Don't believe it? Stick around, because this video will show you 20 deadly insects you'll never want to cross paths with. Brazilian wandering spider. The Brazilian wandering spider is one of the most feared spiders in the world, even though at first it looks like just a large, ordinary spider.
Right there is probably the most venomous spider in the world.
That is a Brazilian wandering spider in my bare hand.
Found mainly in South America, especially in Brazil, this spider does not build a web and waits for food. Instead, it wanders the forest floor at night, which is how it got its name. What makes it so frightening is its venom.
It's got the strongest venom of any spider in the world, and it's one of the few out of 50,000 odd species of spider around the world. It's one of the only ones that can actually do damage to and even kill a person.
A bite from this spider is considered one of the most dangerous in the world, causing severe pain.
A lot of men who get bitten by Brazilian wandering spiders actually can get endless and very painful erections.
Trouble breathing, and even life-threatening problems if not treated quickly. The Guinness World Records has even called it the most venomous spider. Most bites happen when people accidentally disturb it, often in fruit boxes or shoes, which is why it's also called the banana spider. While dangerous, scientists study its venom for possible medical uses, showing how even scary creatures can have surprising value. Giant water bug. Meet the giant water bug, one of the stealthiest hunters in fresh water, and the reason people call them the dreaded toe biter. These hefty, flat brown insects belonging to the Belostomatidae family hide just beneath the surface, poking up a snorkel-like tube to breathe. They wait motionless, then lunge with clawed front legs to seize prey such as tadpoles, fish, frogs, and even small turtles. With their sharp beak, they inject powerful saliva that turns the insides of their catch into liquid, which they quickly drink. Growing over 4 inches long, they are the largest aquatic insects in the world. Their bite isn't venomous, but is notoriously painful if someone steps on them.
Ah! Ah! Sola! Ah! Can you make the container? Ah! Ah!
Earning their nickname. Yet, they're also surprising parents. Males carry or guard eggs until they hatch. At night, they may fly toward porch lights, earning another nickname, electric light bug. These giants prove that ponds hide more than just ripples. Human botfly. Imagine a tiny nightmare that doesn't come flying straight at you, but instead hitches a ride on something more innocent, a mosquito. That's the trick of the human botfly. Instead of laying eggs directly on people, it glues them onto a mosquito or even a tick. When that mosquito bites a person, the warmth of the skin makes the eggs hatch, and the tiny larvae crawl inside through the bite or a hair follicle. From there, the larva sets up home under the skin, creating a painful bubble that lasts 4 to 12 weeks. It even keeps a breathing hole open to survive. The idea is terrifying, but most cases aren't life-threatening unless the wound gets infected. Doctors often suffocate the larva with petroleum jelly or carefully remove it. Found in Central and South America, This insect proves that sometimes the scariest monsters are the smallest ones. Fire ants. Fire ants may be tiny, only about 2 to 6 millimeters long, but they are among the most feared insects. With shiny coppery heads and dark abdomens, they live in giant colonies that can reach 200,000 workers, all ruled by a single queen. Originally from South America, they spread worldwide through cargo ships and now invade places from the United States to Asia and even Australia. Their mounds may seem harmless, but once disturbed, workers rush out, bite to hold on, and inject venom called solenopsin. The sting feels like fire, leaving burning, itchy welts, and in rare cases can trigger dangerous allergic reactions. Fire ants are expert survivors, forming living rafts during floods to protect their queen and larvae. They also cause huge damage, destroying crops, shorting traffic lights, and costing billions in losses. Small but fierce, fire ants are unstoppable warriors that change ecosystems and economies. Redback spider. Feast your eyes on the redback spider, a small but infamous creature from Australia. Its shiny black body with a bright red stripe makes it instantly recognizable. But this tiny spider has a dangerous reputation. The female, about the size of a pea, is the real threat. Her bite can cause severe pain and a condition called latrodectism, which brings sweating, muscle weakness, nausea, and vomiting. Males are much smaller, pale in color, and usually harmless to humans. Redbacks are often closer than you think, hiding in mailboxes, sheds, shoes, or forgotten toys, weaving messy webs that can trap insects, lizards, or even baby mice. While the venom is strong, deaths are extremely rare thanks to an antivenom introduced in 1956. Still, children and the elderly may need hospital care if bitten. And here's a shocking twist. After mating, females sometimes eat their partners, a chilling act of survival and sacrifice. Stag beetle. Imagine a beetle that looks like it stepped out of a fantasy story, shiny, dark, and armored, with males carrying huge antler-like jaws. That's the stag beetle. Their fierce appearance is misleading, though, because these insects aren't dangerous to people. The males use their massive jaws not to bite, but to wrestle each other in dramatic battles over mates, often flipping rivals off branches like tiny gladiators. Most of a stag beetle's life happens out of sight. The larvae live underground for as long as 7 years, feeding on rotting wood, especially oak. Then, after forming a cocoon, they emerge in summer as adults. Their mission is simple: mate, sip sap or fruit juices, and keep the species going. Sadly, stag beetles are endangered across much of Europe because of habitat loss. In the UK, however, they still thrive, helped by people leaving log piles and rescuing them from hot pavement. Kissing bug. Imagine lying in bed at night while a strange insect sneaks across your face. This is the kissing bug, also called the triatomine bug, cone nose bug, or even the oddly cute barber bug. Don't be fooled by the name. These blood-feeding pests are dangerous. They usually bite around the lips or eyes and can grow as long as a penny. The real danger comes afterward. Kissing bugs often poop near the bite. Their droppings may carry a parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi, which causes Chagas disease. If you scratch, you might rub the parasite into your skin without realizing it. At first, symptoms may be mild, like fever, rash, or swollen eyelids. But years later, untreated cases can damage the heart, leading to failure or cause strange digestive problems. Found across the Americas, even in U.S. states like Texas and Arizona, These bugs are more common than many people think. The yellow jacket. The yellow jacket is a small but fierce wasp that buzzes around with bright yellow and black stripes. These shiny insects are dangerous because, unlike honeybees, yellow jackets can sting you over and over, since they don't lose their stinger after attacking. When one of them stings, it injects venom that can feel like a sudden burst of burning pain. Some compare it to a hot cigar pressed against your skin. For most people, a sting means pain, redness, itching, and swelling, all unpleasant but manageable at home with ice, antihistamines, or a baking soda paste to calm the burn. But if someone is allergic, a yellow jacket sting can trigger a severe anaphylactic reaction, a life-threatening condition that includes trouble breathing, swelling, dizziness, and requires an immediate dose of epinephrine and emergency medical help. Yellow jackets build their nests almost anywhere, underground, in wall cavities, tree stumps, or under wood piles, making them a common risk near homes. They're especially aggressive when their nest is disturbed, or during late summer and fall when they search for sugary foods. Robber fly. Imagine a fly that hunts, really hunts. That's the robber fly, a fierce insect often nicknamed the assassin fly. With a bristly mustache, sharp beak-like mouth, and spiky legs, it perches confidently in sunny spots, scanning the sky like a hawk. When a bug flies by, the robber fly swoops in, impales its target with that needle-like proboscis, injects venom that both paralyzes and liquefies its insides, and then sips up a bug smoothie, leaving nothing but an empty shell. There are thousands of species worldwide, about 7,000 species in total, and over 1,000 in North America. They come in many sizes and colors. Some even mimic bum. From grassy fields to backyard gardens, they're common in open, sunny places, loving edges of woods and flowering meadows. Despite their lethal skills, robber flies aren't out to get us. They only bite if mishandled. Water scorpion. Meet the water scorpion, an insect that looks like a mini scorpion from your backyard pond, but is way cooler than creepy. These underwater predators aren't spiders or arachnids. They're true bugs with 6 legs and a long needle-like breathing tube, not a sting. They're masters of disguise, long and stick-like. They hang motionless just below the water's surface, hidden among twigs and leaves, waiting to ambush prey like mosquito larvae, tadpoles, or tiny fish. With mantis-style front legs, they grab unsuspecting victims, inject them with digestive enzymes, then suck out the juices using a straw-like beak. Their tail is actually a breathing snorkel, 2 tubes fused together that extend above the water so they can stay submerged and still breathe air. They even carry an air bubble under their wings, letting them go under longer without resurfacing. You'll find them worldwide, in ponds, ditches, slow streams, and even garden water features. They don't swim much. Instead, they walk or pull themselves through the water and fly only rarely, often at night. Despite their scorpion-like look, their bite is only painful, not deadly, to humans. The Devil's Coach Horse Beetle. The Devil's Coach Horse Beetle is a slick jet-black rove beetle that prowls gardens, woods, and hedgerows across Europe, and even parts of North America between April and October. At around 3 centimeters long, it's one of the larger beetles you might spot under logs or leaf litter during the day. When startled, it does a spooky scorpion impression, raising its narrowed abdomen and baring its pincer-like jaws. If that doesn't scare off a predator, It ejects a foul-smelling spray from glands near its tail, hence its scientific name olens, meaning smelling. Though it looks menacing, it doesn't sting, but its bite can smart if you handle it carelessly. This nocturnal hunter feeds on slugs, worms, spiders, and carrion, making it a stealthy little garden guardian. Blackflies. Blackflies, also called buffalo gnats, are tiny, humpbacked pests that often swarm near rivers and streams in spring and early summer. Only the females bite. They slash your skin with razor-like mouthparts, injecting saliva that prevents blood from clotting while numbing the area. This makes their bites painful, itchy, and sometimes swell into red welts. Some folks even get black fly fever, which can bring headaches, nausea, fever, and swollen lymph nodes. These flies breed in fast-moving water. Larvae cling to submerged rocks and plants before emerging as adults that can fly miles. In North America, they typically don't carry disease, but in parts of Africa and South America, they can spread onchocerciasis, also known as river blindness. To defend yourself, use picaridin repellents, wear light-colored, long-sleeved clothes, and consider a head net when venturing outdoors during their peak season. Japanese giant hornet. Because it's the largest hornet in the world, the Japanese giant hornet looks like something out of a horror movie. It can grow up to 5 centimeters long, with a large wingspan, crowned by a bold orange-yellow head and striped body. But that size is no coincidence. These powerful predators hunt honeybees by decapitating them with razor-sharp jaws during coordinated swarm attacks on hives. A few hornets can wipe out an entire colony in just a few hours. Their sting isn't just painful, it's downright brutal, delivering mastoparin peptides and neurotoxins. Imagine feeling like a hot nail being driven into my leg. And that's just from one sting. Multiple stings can even be life-threatening, especially for those with allergies. On the bright side, Japanese honeybees aren't defenseless. They swarm attackers into a hot death ball, raising temperatures and carbon dioxide levels until the hornet overheats and dies. The blister beetle. The blister beetle is a sleek, soft-bodied insect, often shiny gray, yellow, or striped, that packs a surprising punch. Its name comes from a powerful chemical it emits called cantharidin, which causes painful blisters if it touches your skin. These beetles aren't just garden guests. They can swarm flowering fields like alfalfa, munching on flowers and damaging crops. Their larvae are even stranger. They hitch rides on bees or invade grasshopper egg pods, depending on the species, and feed inside the nest or eggs. Despite its danger, cantharidin has been used in controlled medicine to treat wart-like skin conditions. But be warned, if a horse eats hay contaminated with crushed blister beetles, the toxin can still cause deadly poisoning. The tiger beetle. The tiger beetle is a lightning-fast hunter with a dazzling, often shiny shell in bright green, blue, orange, or scarlet hues, colors created by both pigments and special skin textures. These beetles dash across sandy paths and open ground using their long legs, hunting by sight. But here's the twist. They run so fast that they go momentarily blind, stopping mid-chase to reorient themselves before sprinting again. Their larvae live underground in vertical burrows, waiting like hidden killers. When a small insect wanders by, the larva shoots out, grabs it with powerful jaws, and drags it down into its tunnel. Tiger beetles aren't just creepy cool. Scientists use them to track ecosystem health, since many live in fragile habitats and face threats from development. House centipede. A creep that looks like it's straight out of a nightmare, long legs waving in every direction, dashing across your bathroom floor like a mini-speed demon. That's the house centipede, originally from the Mediterranean, but now a global homeowner's surprise guest. It's not as dangerous as it seems. Despite its creepy look, its tiny fangs rarely pierce human skin, and even if they do, the sting is more of a sharp pinch than anything deadly. What makes it actually helpful is its appetite for pests, silverfish, cockroaches, spiders, and more, making it a natural, if startling, pest controller. With 15 pairs of super long legs and compound eyes that give it night vision hunter vibes, it's a bizarre marvel of nature. Just don't forget, if you spot one, it's likely hunting other unwanted bugs, not you. Driver ants. Imagine a moving tide of millions of ants, powerful enough to shake the forest floor around you. These are driver ants, nomadic insects found across Central and Eastern Africa that travel in huge columns, sometimes containing 20 to 50 million individuals moving about 20 meters per hour. Their soldiers carry scissor-like jaws that can inflict extremely painful bites, leaving 2 puncture wounds that are hard to pull off. Colonies alternate between calm, egg-laying phases and fast raid phases when they sweep through the ground in search of food. The queen is a giant among ants, the largest known living ant, measuring up to 2.5 inches long. In East Africa, people have even used soldier ants as emergency stitches, getting them to bite a cut and then removing their bodies, leaving the jaws to hold the skin closed. The camel spider. The camel spider, despite its spooky nicknames, is neither a spider nor a scorpion, but belongs to its own group called Solifugae. The name camel spider comes from myths, but the real facts are just as fascinating. These desert hunters can race at speeds close to 10 miles per hour, which earned them the name wind scorpion. They can grow to about 1 to 6 inches in body length, with legs that stretch even longer. Their most striking feature is their giant jaws, which can be almost 1/3 the length of their body. These jaws tear apart prey like small rodents, lizards, and insects before enzymes break the food down. Camel spiders are not venomous and do not go after humans, though their bite can hurt because of those powerful jaws. Mostly active at night, they hide from the sun during the day. With special sensory feelers and organs, they expertly sense vibrations and smells, making them vital predators in desert ecosystems. The black widow. The black widow is one of the most famous spiders in the world, known for its venom that is said to be up to 15 times stronger than the bite of a rattlesnake. Even though it sounds terrifying, this spider is actually shy and usually bites people only when it feels trapped or disturbed, like if someone presses against it by mistake. Black widows live in many temperate regions around the world, including across the United States. The female builds messy, tangled webs close to the ground, often in garages, sheds, or woodpiles. She hangs upside down in her web, showing off the bright red hourglass mark on her belly, almost like a warning sign. A black widow bite may first feel like a small pinprick, but it can later cause stiffness, cramps, nausea, and heavy sweating. Most healthy adults recover with medical care, but the bite can be dangerous for children, older people, or those with weak immunity. These spiders are also skilled hunters. With their comb-foot bristles, they fling silk over trapped prey, liquefy them, and then drink their meal. The name Black Widow comes from rare cases where the female eats the male after mating, In fact, one professor once let a black widow bite him to study its venom, enduring days of painful symptoms that helped improve medical treatments. Cockroaches. Cockroaches are survivors. These flat bugs hide in dark, damp places like kitchens, bathrooms, and basements, and only come out at night. They carry and spread harmful germs like salmonella, E. coli, and even dysentery by walking over kitchen surfaces or food. Even worse, their shed skin, droppings, and saliva can float in the air and worsen asthma or allergies, especially in kids. Despite how nasty they seem, roaches are impressively tough. They can live a month without food, hold their breath for over 30 minutes, and even keep functioning briefly without their heads. But humans help spread them too. The common German cockroach likely traveled from Asia to other parts of the world centuries ago by hitching rides with people. To keep them out, seal cracks, keep food sealed, and call pest control if needed. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.